I left work early to surprise my husband. The instant I pushed open the bedroom door, I froze. Two bodies were tangled on the bed, the woman's moans still hanging in the air. Chase. I breathed the name. The man on the mattress jerked his head around. My husband of 3 years. Chase. The woman tucked beneath him was his assistant. Brielle. Save. Let me explain. Chase scrambled to get up. No hysterics. No tears. No shouting. I simply looked at them, turned, and walked out. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. Rustling clothes and Chase's rushed footsteps followed me. Save. It's not what you think. He caught up in the living room and reached for my hand. I sidestepped. Then what is it I'm supposedly misunderstanding? Bree and I just what? Tripped. Fell onto the bed. And your clothes evaporated? I sat on the sofa, hands folded in my lap, interrogating him like a hostile witness. My calm scared him. He'd expected the standard TV drama meltdown and a handy excuse. I'm a lawyer. I've heard every post-cheating script in the book. Tell me the truth. How long has this been going on? Save. Can't we talk this out? I didn't mean, answer the question. Chase swallowed. 3 months. Good. Honesty is a promising start. Where? The office. Hotels. And, he faltered. Our car. The one I bought. Used to screw another woman. Why? Save. You're always buried in work. We haven't in ages, so it's my fault? No, I'm to blame. All me. I lost my head. She came on to me. He'd already begun shifting blame to Brielle. Brielle emerged from the bedroom, hair mussed yet not a trace of shame on her face. Worthington, don't dump this on me just to soothe her. She met my eyes. Defiant. Attorney Sterling, since we're out in the open, let's be honest. Chase and I are in love. Every day this past 3 months he's told me how draining you are. Nothing but work. Zero femininity. He said he only married you because you threatened to kill yourself if he didn't. Each sentence stabbed deeper. My expression stayed flat. Done? Brielle blinked, surprised I hadn't cracked. Chase, we're getting divorced. I rose and smoothed my skirt. Save. Please. I messed up. It's over. I swear. He lunged to embrace me. I stepped back. Don't touch me. Save. Give me another shot. I'll cut her off. We'll start fresh. Chase. I'm a lawyer, not an idiot. Infidelity is zero-sum. There's no such thing as once-off. Besides, why would I keep a man another woman has used? His face flushed crimson. Savannah, watch your mouth. I'm out of line. Was I the one screwing someone else in our bed, or am I the one asking for divorce? You have 2 options. Uncontested divorce papers or litigation. Sign the papers and we split fairly. Fight me and I'll push for a walkaway settlement. Everything to me. Chase's eyes bulged. Walk away. On what grounds? My grounds are infidelity footage, and the skill to use it. I held up my phone. The camera had captured every word since I'd walked in, even Brielle's taunts. Brielle went white. She'd forgotten I'm a matrimonial case specialist. Savannah, you set us up. Set you up. I protected my legal rights. You have 5 minutes. I'll wait downstairs for your answer. I slung my purse over my shoulder. Oh, and Chase, wash those sheets or toss them. I'm picky about dirt. Downstairs in Riverdale, New York. I ordered an Americano. The bitterness on my tongue matched my mood. Of course it hurt. 3 years of marriage erased in an afternoon, but rage overshadowed the pain. Rage at his betrayal, at the lies, at their smug entitlement, especially Brielle's claim that I'd blackmailed Chase into marrying me by threatening suicide. Truth. 3 years ago I collapsed at the office after midnight and woke in a Manhattan hospital. Chase spent the night by my cot and proposed the next morning. Now, to excuse cheating, he'd rewritten even that memory. Pathetic. My phone rang. Chase. Save. We'll do uncontested papers. But I bought the apartment. You can't have half. I laughed softly. True. You paid the down payment. Yet we serviced that mortgage together and I footed every renovation bill. Marital law says the condo is joint property. Either we split it 50-50, or you reimburse everything I sank into mortgage principal and decor. Then it's yours. Silence while he did the math and realized the second option was pricier. Fine. Half each. What about the car? You think I'd keep the vehicle you banged her in? It's yours, provided you pay off the loan. And the rest? Bank accounts 50-50. Investment accounts stay with whoever opened them. No kids. No child support. But clean up your mess with Brielle. If she shows up pregnant after we sign, I won't be amused. He started to protest. Stopped. Nothing. I'll see a lawyer tomorrow. No need. My office. Tomorrow afternoon. I'll draft everything. Save. I ended the call. Back in the booth, I plotted my next moves. Divorce was only step 1. Chase thought that curtain had fallen. Naive. I dialed. Harrison. Savannah. Save. You sound off. What's wrong? Need a favor. Run asset checks on Chase and Brielle, and pull recent filings on Worthington's projects. He hesitated. Something happened? He cheated. Son of a, want me over? I'm fine. Just intel. I'm on it. Stay legal. Counselor. I know the line. Next call. Leah. It's Savannah. Leah's my go-to PI for affairs and asset sweeps. Hey, problem? Investigate Chase and Brielle. Every detail. Your husband, soon-to-be ex. Fine. I understand. Give me 3 days. Only after I'd hung up did I notice my fingers trembling. Not from fear, from rage. Chase probably thought that once the divorce was final he and Brielle could parade around in broad daylight. Sweet dreams. I'm going to teach them exactly how heavy the price of betrayal is. The next afternoon Chase showed up at my office right on time. He was dressed in a fresh suit, every hair in place, as if he'd come to sign a merger. You look chipper, I said without glancing up. Save. I thought it over last night. Can't we at least try again? I set down my pen and looked at him. Try what? Try to forgive your cheating. Or try to accept your little threesome? I've already broken it off with Bree. Oh, my tone stayed flat. So what? Chase blinked. What do you mean? So what? I ended it. We can start over. Chase, are you misunderstanding something? I stood and leaned over my desk. I'm divorcing you, not because of who you're with, but because you betrayed me. Whether you dump her now or marry her tomorrow doesn't erase the fact you slept around. It's like a white shirt splashed with ink. Even if you scrub it clean, it's never the same white shirt again. His face darkened. So nothing I do will make you forgive me? Smart. Savannah, you're heartless. Heartless? I laughed. Who was screwing another woman in our bed? Who lied to my face for 3 months? Who turned our car into their love nest? Now that you're caught, you call me heartless? Your logic is truly impressive. Chase had nothing left to say. I picked up the folder on my desk and handed it to him. Divorce settlement, see if anything needs fixing. The more pages he turned, the uglier his expression got. Savannah, you're humiliating me. Where, exactly? It lists the reason for divorce as my infidelity. Is that not a fact? But putting it in the settlement, what if people see it? I raised an eyebrow. You were worried about people finding out while you were cheating, but not while you were doing it? Besides, a settlement is a private document. Only us and the lawyers will ever read it. If you refuse, we can go to trial. Then a courtroom full of strangers hears every detail of your affair. Chase ground his teeth. You planned this. I'm just being accurate. In the end he signed. While he scribbled his name I noticed his hand shaking too, but from resentment, not anger. There's one more thing. I slipped the papers into my briefcase. I want you out of the apartment. I'm renovating. Why? The agreement gives me half the property, and the right to live there. Because the sight of that bed makes me sick. I didn't bother to soften it. You can stay, but I'll toss every stick of furniture and buy new. Don't complain about wasted money. Chase's face flushed crimson. Savannah, you're pushing too far. Then move out. I'll wire you your half today and you can buy a new place. I refuse to live under the same roof as a cheat. He chose the cash. I transferred the funds on the spot and watched him pack. As he dragged his suitcase to the door, I offered a suggestion. By the way, you'd better get Brielle checked. What do you mean? Nothing much, just a friendly tip to visit a clinic. I smiled thinly. A woman that aggressive with married men. Who knows how many others came before you? Chase's face went white. Clearly the possibility had never crossed his mind. Savannah, you, pure goodwill, I said, waving. We were husband and wife once. I'd hate to see anything happen. He stumbled out, suitcase wobbling behind him. I stood at the window and watched him climb into the rideshare. A strange, bright satisfaction bubbling in my chest. But this was only the opening act. The real drama hadn't started. 3 days after Chase left, Leah messengered her report. It was juicier than I'd imagined. Brielle wasn't just Chase's assistant and lover. She was a corporate spy planted by Worthington's biggest rival in Chicago. For 3 months, while whispering sweet nothings in his ear, she'd fed their confidential bids and strategy decks to the competition. The string of contracts Worthington had unexpectedly lost. Competitors knew every number beforehand. Even better, Brielle was juggling 2 other men on the side, her former boss, and some trust fund prints from Los Angeles. Photos and recordings filled Leah's file, every piece bulletproof. I read it twice. Feelings tangled. Part of me pitied Chase. He'd been played like a cheap violin. Part of me thought he deserved every note. I forwarded the file to Harrison and typed, corporate espionage case, room to maneuver. His reply came fast, absolutely. It's criminal. What's the play? I hesitated, then texted, don't call the cops yet. Let's bundle the evidence and another message. You know any financial reporters? Several. Why? This story has headlines written all over it. Bombshell seductress steals trade secrets. Better than prime time. You want it public. I want Chase dead in the water. Socially. Professionally. Totally. The plan was simple. Leak Brielle's spy identity first. Let the tabloids feast on the femme fatale angle. Chase, the poor executive duped by sex, would win cheap sympathy until we released the affair footage showing he'd been cheating all along. Sympathy would curdle into scorn, and Chase's reputation would rot overnight. Brielle, meanwhile, would face prison stripes. 2 birds, 1 sleek, stainless arrow. That evening I met the reporter Harrison recommended, Ms. Carter, sharp-eyed and hungry. After hearing the outline, her eyes lit. Corporate seductress. Front page gold, provided every document is legit. Everything in there will hold up in court, I said, sliding Leah's folder across the table. She skimmed, nodded. I'm in, but I want first crack at whatever twists come next. I smiled. Deal. The following days, I laid the trap. First, an anonymous email to Worthington headquarters in Manhattan. Guard your data, there's a mole. Next, Leah kept Brielle under tighter surveillance, hoovering up fresh proof. Finally, I phoned 2 rival firms, suggesting they audit their recent wins, just in case questions arose. Then I sat back and waited for the rats to scurry. It didn't take long. Chase called, voice jumpy, save. I need to see you. We're divorced. No need. It's about Brie. I think she might. A pause. I can't explain over the phone. I sighed theatrically. Fine. I've got 30 minutes. We met at a cafe in Riverdale. He looked worse than before, eyes sunken. 5 o'clock shadow blooming. You look terrible, I offered politely. Save. I may be in trouble. A dry laugh. Remember Brie? Your ex-mistress. That's serious? Yeah. We've lost several major bids in a row, and our rivals always seem to know our quotes in advance. The investigation suggests someone's leaking confidential data, and Brie had access to those files. I frowned. Do you have proof? Still digging. But, save. If it's really her, I'll be the laughingstock of New York. Chase buried his face in his hands. The chump who got played by a honeypot. Tragic, I said, without a trace of sympathy. Can you help me? He looked up suddenly. You're a lawyer. You know how to handle this. I gave a cold laugh. Chase. Did you forget something? What? We're divorced. And if word gets out that your mistress might be a spy, I'll be dragged into the mud too. People will wonder whether Chase's ex-wife was in on it. Chase's complexion changed. Save. You're not that petty, are you? Petty. I stood. Chase. Did you think about consequences while you were cheating? Now that your house is on fire, you remember me? Why should I help you? Because we used to be married. Used to. I stressed the words. Not anymore. Besides, you cooked this mess yourself. If you'd kept your pants zipped, you never would have met Brielle. Call it self-inflicted. Chase was struck dumb. I picked up my bag, then turned to add, oh. If Brielle really is a spy, call the cops. The longer you stall, the worse it gets. And brace yourself. Once this hits the wires, the press will feast. Chase's face went paper white. I left the cafe, satisfied. Back at the office I texted reporter Carter. She replied instantly. The next few days unfolded exactly as I'd scripted. Worthington opened an internal probe. Brielle was suspended pending review. Evidence of her leaks surfaced fast. The company called the NYPD. Brielle was cuffed. The moment detectives marched her out, Carter's cameraman was downstairs, snapping the perfect perp walk shot. That night the story rocketed to the top of the trending tabloid feed. The article detailed Brielle's espionage and her romance with Chase, though it never labeled the affair outright. The lead photo was Chase's wedding portrait. Netizens connected the dots in record time. Comments exploded. Isn't this Chase dude married? Where'd the girlfriend come from? Probably cheating. Got honey trapped. Serves him right. Classic case of thinking with the little head. Poor wife, cuckolded and spied on. Double whammy. Scum like him deserve nuclear-level ruin. I scrolled, savoring every syllable. Chase. This is the price of betrayal. The morning after the story blew up, Chase called. Savannah. Did you do this? Rage and desperation cracked his voice. Did I do what? I played dumb. The press. How do they know about Brie and me? Who leaked our private details? Chase. You've been binging too many thrillers. I chuckled. Reporters have sources. Corporate spy scandals are clickbait gold. Think the planet revolves around you? It was you. Has to be. He snarled. Nobody hates me that much except you. Hate you. My tone iced over. You overrate yourself. I'm too busy living well, working, billing, stacking retainers, to waste hate on you. Media buzz. That's your problem. Keep your zipper shut and none of this happens. Savannah. Stop pretending. I know it's you. Believe whatever you like. I hung up and blacklisted his number. At noon Harrison knocked. Save. I saw the feeds. Don't you think you've gone far enough? I glanced up. How exactly? Chase cheated. Sure, but plastering his private life online will torch him. So, I closed the file. He struck the match when he betrayed me. I get it. But, no buts. I cut him off. While he was banging banging Brielle in our bed. Did he worry about torching me? Now the world's laughing and you say I've gone too far? Harrison sighed. I just don't want you regretting it later. You two were married once. Once being the operative word. I smiled thinly. If your wife cheated, would we're married by her instant absolution? Harrison had no comeback. I won't regret a thing, I said. My only regret is not seeing the real Chase sooner. He knew my resolve was iron. He dropped it. That afternoon came the twist. Brielle, from detention, requested to see me. Curious. I agreed. She looked gaunt. Eyelids puffy. Designer sheen long gone. Sterling, you reported me, didn't you? She came straight at me. Shaw, I have no idea what you mean. Stop it. Except for you. No one hates us this much. She smiled bitterly. You destroyed us for revenge. I didn't report you. I answered evenly. You're here because you committed a felony. Corporate espionage is criminal, whether I pick up the phone or not. She studied me. Hopeless. Do you hate us that much? Hate? I shook my head. I pity you. Actually, pity? She echoed. Yes, pity. I held her gaze. You thought trading your body for cash and trade secrets was smart. Truth is, you were just a disposable tool. The people who sent you, are they rushing to bail you out? And Chase, will he abandon everything to save you? Her face caved in by degrees. You've got nothing now. Shaw, no money, no love, no freedom. Price of your choices. Brielle burst into tears. I only wanted a better life. Was that so wrong? Wanting a better life isn't wrong, I said quietly, but chasing it with deceit and betrayal is. You used Chase, violated the company's trust, every move was yours. Nobody forced you. She sobbed harder. I rose to leave, then looked back. Cooperate fully. Maybe the court will lighten the sentence. And don't expect Chase to rescue you. Right now he's busy distancing himself. Brielle jerked her head up. Why tell me this? Because we're both women, I said flatly. You hurt me, but I won't let you keep lying to yourself. Face reality. Pay your dues. Start over. My free advice. Walking out of detention. My feelings tangled. Pitiful. Yes. But she picked the road. Everyone answers for their own choices. Chase, included. And me. I'm no exception. Brielle's case wrapped quickly. 3 years in New York State prison plus restitution to Worthington for every lost dollar Chase could tally. Legally, he's the victim. In the court of public opinion, he's a punchline. Netizens crowned him Director Honeytrap, the poster boy for thinking south of the belt. The tabloids still haven't had their fill. What made it worse was that the press had also dug up his affair. One reporter tracked down our building's neighbors and snapped photos of him and Brielle entering our Manhattan brownstone. Another hit up their regular hotel and walked away with the keycard logs. It all got stitched into a long-read piece titled, The Cheating Scandal Behind the Corporate Spy Case. The article laid out Chase's extramarital greatest hits, complete with PDAs in elevators, service stairwells, and the company garage. A couple of marriage therapists were even quoted explaining why serial cheaters make easy prey for espionage honeypots. Within hours, Chase was internet famous, the mocking kind. His headshot became a meme, Director Dirtbag, Spy Magnet CEO, and ricocheted across every platform. Netizens doxed him, Worthington's headquarters address, his license plate, even the make of his weekend Porsche. He quit before the board could fire him and left New York. Harrison heard through the grapevine that he'd crawled back to upstate New York's suburbs and taken a bookkeeper job that paid 1/3 of his old salary. Happy now? Harrison asked me. Happy about what? I was redlining a contract. I didn't bother looking up. He's wrecked. Career, reputation, everything. His choices, not mine, I said, initialing a clause. I didn't push him into bed with her, and I didn't make him fall for a spy. But you poured gas on the fire. I just turned the lights on. I snapped the folder shut. Harrison, if someone gut punches you, do you keep quiet? He had no comeback. I won't, I said, standing and smoothing my skirt. Betrayal carries a price. That's ethics 101. Chase thought cheating was private, that after the divorce he and Brielle would ride into the sunset. Delusion. Save. He started to protest. I cut him off. Enough. He's erased from my hard drive. I'm not wasting another bite on him. At the door I doubled back. Free tonight. Let me buy you dinner. He blinked. Dinner? Why? For having my back. I smiled. You went a little overprotective at the end, but the prep work was gold. Harrison's ears turned pink. Well, okay. We picked a quiet bistro in Brooklyn that served small plates and big pours. All through the meal he opened his mouth, shut it, then tried again. Spit it out, I said, laying down my fork. Stop chewing your tongue. Have you thought about Starting over? Define over. Romantically, he said, inhaling. You're single now. You could find someone. I studied him and the penny dropped. Harrison. Are you? Yes. He met my stare. I'm into you. Have been for years. Starting when? Your first day at the firm. He gave a rueful grin. But you were married, so I zipped it. Now you're not. And I'd like a shot. I let the silence stretch. Harrison is decent. Solvent. Easy on the eyes, on paper. Perfect. But paper isn't flesh. And flesh still ached. Harrison. I value you. I said at last. But I'm not dating. Why not? I just crawled out of a wrecked marriage. I need time to reassemble the pieces and figure out which ones are still me. I folded my napkin. Chase's betrayal bulldozed my trust. Rebuilding it will take a lot longer than a courtroom recess. He nodded, disappointed. Then I'll wait. Don't. I shook my head. I don't know when, if, I'll be ready, or whether I'll feel the same way when I am. Holding your breath for an appeal I might never file isn't fair to you. So that's a no, he asked softly. That's a pardon, I said, meeting his eyes. You deserve a woman who can love you at full volume, not one still echoing with ghosts. He wanted to argue, but the words never came. We finished the meal in companionable quiet. Walking home, I flashed back to my first date with Chase 3 years earlier. Same nervous energy. Same fumbling for topics. I'd thought it was the start of forever. Turned out it was the prologue to a scam. Maybe trusting again will take me years. Maybe I never will. 2 months after Chase bolted from New York, my phone lit up with an unknown number. Save. It's Worthington, Chase's mother. I hadn't spoken to her since I signed the final papers. Mrs. Worthington. How are you? I need to see you, she said, voice frayed. May I, ma'am? I know what my son did. I just want to apologize and ask a favor. We met at a Riverdale cafe that smelled of single-origin beans and quiet judgment. She looked 10 years older, hair snow white, eyes puffed. How's your health? I asked. Surviving. Can't sleep. Everyone back home's whispering about the scandal. She tried to smile. They say I raised a monster. A twinge of guilt pinched me. I'd wanted Chase pulverized, not his mother. Ma'am, you owe us nothing, she cut in. Chase earned every stone thrown at him, but I'm begging for mercy online. They're crucifying him. She unfolded printouts, death threats. His parents' address leaked. Photos of their mailbox smeared with red paint. I'm scared he'll break, she whispered. Could you post something? Say the divorce was civil? No hard feelings. Ask the mob to stand down? I hesitated. The feeding frenzy had spiraled beyond anything I'd plotted. I can issue a statement, I said, but keyboard warriors rarely listen to the voice of reason. Please try. Her fingers tightened around mine. He's terrified to leave the house. Another month of this and I'll lose my boy completely. Against better judgment, I caved. All right, I'll draft something. Relief flooded her face. Thank you. Save. There's one more thing. Chase wants to meet you, to apologize in person. I shook my head. Closure doesn't require FaceTime. I'll write the post, but I won't reopen that door. Save. Some fractures never knit, I said gently. My life is calm again. I plan to keep it that way. She surrendered with a weary nod. That night I opened Twitter and typed, I'm Savannah, Chase's former wife. 1. Our divorce is finalized. Asset split complete. No lingering disputes. 2. His personal actions are separate from me. Please don't drag me back into commentary. 3. I condemn doxing and harassment, direct outrage at facts, not families. 4. This is my only and final statement. No interviews, no further posts. Thank you for respecting my privacy. Within minutes it had 50,000 likes and 20,000 retweets. Comment threads ran the gamut, support, skepticism, conspiracy theories, but the pylon lost steam, and the press moved on. I exhaled. Whatever Chase had coming, I didn't want blood on my hands. I'd wanted justice, not a body count. Just when I thought the curtain had dropped, a new thread surfaced. An expose on Brielle's life behind bars, mugshots, commissary purchases, even her neatly printed prison confession. It turned out that, while in prison, she behaved well, took part in every rehab program and even wrote a prison confession. Someone leaked the confession online. It mentioned Chase. She claimed Chase was a victim too, that she'd been the one to seduce him. She also wrote that she'd chosen him because her research showed he was completely devoted to his wife, therefore hard to approach. Crack a man like that, she said, and he would shatter all the way. The moment the confession hit the web, public opinion pivoted again. Some netizens began to pity Chase, insisting a pro-level spy had set him up. Others still said cheating was cheating, no matter the circumstances. The shouting match restarted. I scrolled through the comments, heart tangled. Maybe this, right here, is the messiness of human nature. There is no absolute good, no absolute evil, no absolute right or wrong. Everyone is paying the price for the choices they made, including me. A week after Brielle's confession storm died down, a courier envelope arrived for me. No return address, just a small box containing a flash drive. I slipped it into my laptop. A single video file. I clicked. Chase's face filled the screen. He sat in a bare, shabby room, stubble thick, eyes hollow. Save. If you're watching this, then you got my package. His voice was hoarse. I know you don't want to see me, so I'm using this tape instead. First, thank you for clearing things up online. I didn't deserve the help, but I'm grateful. Second, I owe you an apology official. Complete. I betrayed you. Save. I betrayed our marriage. Every promise I made. There's no excuse. Spy or not. Whatever Brielle's game was, it doesn't justify what I did. My own greed, my own stupidity, those are what wrecked us and destroyed your trust. Tears started rolling down his cheeks. Only now do I see what I've lost. You were the best wife, the best partner, and I pushed you away. I keep wishing I could rewind, but time doesn't run backward, and I don't ask your forgiveness. I only hope you'll be happy, that you'll find someone who truly loves you and deserves you. Lastly, I love you. I know those words are worthless now, but I need you to know they're real, even if I prove them in the dumbest way possible. Good. Bye. Save. Stay happy forever. The screen cut to black. I stared at the darkness. Emotions churning, anger, sorrow, disappointment, pity, all knotted together. I had no idea how to respond to a video like that. Chase sounded sincere, but sincerity was years too late. Some wounds can't be healed by apologies. Some trust, once shattered, can't be glued back. I deleted the file, dropped the flash drive in the trash, just like I deleted our photos, tossed our memories, let the past stay past. I'm moving forward. That night I made a decision. I was leaving New York. The city held too many memories of Chase. I needed a clean skyline. The next morning I sent out resumes, hunting for jobs in other cities. Soon a top-tier law firm in San Francisco invited me for an interview. It went flawlessly. They offered me the position on the spot. The pay was double my current salary, plus equity. Better yet, no one there knew me, knew my history. I could start fresh. When I handed in my resignation, Harrison cornered me. Save. You're really leaving? Yes, I said, stacking files into a carton. San Francisco's offer is too good to miss. Is it because of me? He asked. Because I confessed and made things awkward? I paused. No, Harrison, you're great. The problem is mine. Then why go? I need change. I looked him in the eye. Here I'll always be Chase's ex-wife, forever trapped in that shadow. I want a clean slate. He was silent for a long beat, then nodded. Take care of yourself. You too. I offered my hand. Friends? Friends. He clasped it. If you ever change your mind, call me. I smiled and said nothing. I knew that day would probably never come. A month later I was settled in San Francisco, new city, new job, new colleagues, everything brand new. Nobody here knew my past. No one looked at me with pity or prying eyes. I was simply Savannah, an ordinary attorney. Work kept me swamped, and I loved the fullness of it. Drafting pleadings, negotiating deals, helping clients untangle knots. My days reminded me I mattered. They also blunted the sharper edges of memory. One afternoon, handling yet another divorce, I met a woman whose story mirrored mine. She'd caught her husband cheating, forgave him, only to discover a second affair months later. Now she was done and had hired me to file the papers. Sterling. Was I stupid to forgive him back then? She sobbed. Why did I give him another shot? Everyone chooses differently, I said, handing her tissues. You forgave because you still loved him, still believed he could change. That isn't stupidity, it's kindness. But kindness can be betrayed. What do I do now? Do exactly what you want, I told her. Don't stay because others expect it, and don't surrender your rights because someone moral shames you. You're allowed to be angry, to divorce, to restart. They're your choices, and choices aren't about right or wrong. A flash of resolve lit her eyes. Thank you, Sterling. I know what to do. Watching her walk away, I saw myself months earlier, just as furious, as lost, as terrified of the future. But I'd come through. I hadn't completely let go. Yet the past no longer chained me. I had a new life, new goals, fresh hopes. Maybe one day I'd trust love again. Maybe I'd meet someone truly worth my forever. Even if that day never dawned, I wouldn't regret a thing. I'd learn to live alone, to stand on my own, to love myself. That was already enough. That evening I stood on my apartment balcony, gazing at San Francisco's neon sprawl. Lights flickered, traffic streamed, this city pulsed with life and possibility. Just like the reborn me, my phone buzzed, a WhatsApp message from Mrs. Worthington. Save. Chase is gone. I froze. Then typed, Gone where? Gone for good. He jumped from a building last night, left a note apologizing to everyone he hurt, especially you. He said he hopes if there's a next life, he'll do better. I clutched the phone, speechless. I no longer loved Chase, but the news still stunned and saddened me. We had loved each other once believed we'd grow old side by side. His death closed our story with a tragic final paragraph. I wanted to say something, but no words fit. Finally, I sent 4 words. Take care. Condolences. Then I deleted Mrs. Worthington's chat. That chapter had ended, completely. Mine was just beginning. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments, so feel free to share your views. Don't forget to subscribe for more gripping stories. See you next time.